the first presenter presenting on the title The Religious Pleasure Gap from the Department of Sociology, competitor number 1, Elizabeth McElroy. Yeah.
Gender equality has come a long way in the last 50 to 60 years. Women now have far more equitable wages, legal rights, and representation in government than ever before, and yet significant gaps still remain in each of these areas. Societies are slow to change, particularly when it comes to our deeply held attitudes and assumptions about how men and women are supposed to behave. So, we actually see that attitudes about public life, like work and politics, have been faster to change than attitudes about private life. So let's look at perhaps the most private of areas. When we look at heterosexual encounters, there is a huge gap in rates of orgasm, as well as just how much people say they found a sexual interaction enjoyable. Yet when we look at same-sex interactions, women's rates of orgasm and enjoyment jump right up. So this tells us that this isn't a problem with women's bodies, but with how these interactions unfold. We need to think carefully about where our attitudes that drive our behaviors come from. And my research focuses on religion because religion is a particularly powerful source of attitude formation. So we could imagine that some branches of religious teaching might shrink the gap by inspiring partners to be mutually caring and considerate. Other branches of teachings may reinforce the idea that men's pleasure comes from the sacrifice of women. So I have found that the largest and most reliable gap occurs amongst Protestant Christians. And for context, about half of Americans have some level of association with a Protestant group. And ultimately, this matters because sexual problems send shockwaves through personal well-being, relationship and family stability, and even population-level concerns like birth rates. And I ask you, how far can we really go with gender equality if women are still framed as second-class citizens in their most personal interactions? Thank you.